Hi folks, Kenny from ScotPhil. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, and I hope you're all well. In today's video, another walkabout in Dundee, this time Albert Square. Also, some news on travel and the pandemic. Unfortunately, it seems like the whole world is starting to have a bit of a spike in what would be termed as the second wave. As far as we're concerned here in Scotland, it was just a couple of videos back where I said that we'd had something like a 6-week period with no deaths. Unfortunately, we've now recorded somewhere in the region of about 100 over the last 3 weeks or so. Bringing it closer to home, here in Dundee, we registered our first death earlier this week. Now that's been since June 24th, thereabouts, so almost 4 months. We're still living with tighter restrictions. Can't really go into, well, you can go into the pubs. They're having to close at 6 p.m. If they're not serving food and they don't have any outside seating, basically they're going to have to close, because you can't buy any alcohol indoors. You're having to sit outdoors if you're wanting to drink alcohol. You can only have soft drinks, coffee, etc. Indoors if you're having a meal. And the same thing goes for restaurants. They are continuing with the request, or not so much a request now, it's mandatory to wear face masks when you're going into shops, even into the pubs or the restaurants. If you're going in and moving around, you have to wear the masks then. You can take them off obviously when you're sitting down to eat or drink. Outside, it's still not a requirement yet to wear the masks, but if you're going into any shopping centres, you have to put them on, and also of course on public transport you have to wear them then. The other one that's come up is that you have to wear masks now even if you're in an office situation, and I think that includes canteens. The Prime Minister has announced that there are better, clearer tests coming out, and fast tests are going to be trialled over the next few weeks here in Britain. So I don't know what that entails as far as we're concerned up here in Scotland, or as far as the travel industry is concerned. You know, for these pre-flight tests, I was hoping something might come of that, but they may all be included in that sort of thing. We're waiting to find out. There is also a Love is Not Tourism movement on the go. It's to do with people who are wanting to visit countries such as the Philippines, where they may have a fiancé, for example. They're wanting the same sort of rights to go to these countries and visit their loved ones as people who are doing that already, who may have relatives, wives, children, etc. in the country. They're being allowed entry, and the Love is Not Tourism movement is asking for the same thing for people who have fiancés. Now, okay, there might be a bit of come and go on that with certain people who may try to push the boundaries a bit, but yeah, I can see where they're coming from, and it would be another step in the way forward of getting people to start moving around. Again, testing would have to be included and all that sort of thing. So yeah, if you're COVID free, why not be allowed to move around? This is going to be our walkabout today at the Albert Square. We're starting off at the top here at Reform Street, which is about a 2-minute walk from City Square, which most people consider to be the centre of Dundee. Starting over here at the Courier buildings for DC Thomson, we'll cross over and go round the square in a clockwise direction, past some of the monuments, down this side, along the front, which is Meadowside Albert Square, the front of the entrance to the museum, and along to this corner here, finishing off beside Ur Wullie statue and looking up to the steps at the front of the McManus Galleries. Here we are then at the top of Reform Street, and if we look all the way down there to the bottom, to the southern end, and in the distance there is the City Square and the Caird Hall. Okay, coming back up to the top of Reform Street, and we have Meadowside Albert Square, Victoria Square, Panmure Street, Courier Place, whatever it is you want to use to name this end or this part of the city. The McManus Galleries are on that side of the street, and right behind me here is DC Thomson's Courier building. Now, I don't know if the courier came first or courier place came first, but this is officially courier place on Albert Street. First of the statues we come to is Robbie Burns. You'll have heard of To a Moose, A Man's a Man for a' that, Auld Lang Syne, etc, etc. He has over 500 words, and I'm not going to try and name them all myself. So we head on around onto Panmure Street and make our way around Albert Square. Where we have the Royal Exchange buildings, which has had quite a few different tenants over the years, and presently has Skills Development Scotland inside it. Back around on the side of the museum we have the statue to Queen Victoria, which was erected for her Diamond Jubilee, although it didn't actually arrive here until 1899. The Jubilee was 1897. Over on the other side, you'll remember me being there a few weeks ago. It's the Brewdog, which is where I had my first half pint after the lockdown was lifted a few months ago. And on this side, a statue to James Carmichael. And carrying on round, here we find ourselves at the top of Commercial Street. Back into Meadowside or Albert Square, however you want to name it. We have the original Dundee Museum and McManus Art Galleries. It is that end. And once again, looking back along to the west, that's the DC Thompson's Courier building in front of us. Our well-known character, Oor Willie, just in front of the steps leading up to the McManus Galleries. Well, that's it for this week, folks. Hope you enjoyed that. If you have any comments or anywhere you'd like me to have a look around, just stick it in the comments down below, and of course while you're scrolling down, don't forget to turn that little grey thumb blue. Thanks very much. Till I see you next time, stay safe, stay well, see you soon hopefully.